Hello, 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 hello. We are here live, DevHub Live, episode number 45. It's April 10th. We got a lot to go over today. Been a lot going on, obviously, in the markets, to say the least. There is a lot of stuff that has been happening in the near ecosystem. There's been a lot of stuff just in general. So we're going to try to recap some of this as best as possible and kind of catch everybody up. Uh, if you have not already been subscribed to our newsletter, I would definitely start there. We've been updating everybody each week with our newsletter, adjusting our format, trying to bring some more news and some light editorial viewpoint to that. So definitely check that out. That link is down below to subscribe from there. Last week we talked a lot about building a blockchain. Definitely got some nice feedback and questions around that, and I think it's something that we'll probably spend some more time off in the future. But today we're doing a news-based episode, and I wanted to really take some time and kind of go over some of the things that have been happening the past few weeks specifically, hit some different topics. If you have questions in any of the different chats, feel free to post a comment, and I will look through those questions and maybe get to some of them if we can, and kind of go from there. So let's kind of get started and jump into what's been happening around the near developer ecosystem and in crypto in general. One of the big things here is some multi-chain innovation. If you haven't heard, OmniBridge has been released, and I will let me bring up my other screen here too. And from here, I think this is something that is really really important on a few different levels. So if you have been around the near ecosystem, you probably know about the Rainbow Bridge. This is replacing that. Okay, so we're going to start to kind of move on past the Rainbow Bridge. It's all about here enabling trustless asset transfers. It's using chain signatures. It's using decentralized MPC. This is being built in-house to, again, similar to how the Rainbow Bridge was as well. Think of it like this. If you're not really sure how this bridging is a little bit different, the analogy I have is think of it like an airport hub. You have all the different flights, so the flights are different chains, and without having to have these, manual transfers or these long waits, everything can kind of happen seamlessly. You can just quickly transfer from one to the next. And right now, there's some really great support here. Let me see if I can bring up this screen here too. Let me hide and add this to the stage. Here's the repo directly. You can check this out, but you can see some of the chains that are being supported right now: Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana-based Arbitrum. And you can see how that's being done all through here as well. If you check out the repo, you can see some more information about kind of what's going on. Some of the other different things here too is again, chain signatures is now added in here. And so again, one of the things that is different from the Rainbow Bridge is the Rainbow Bridge was just pretty much going to Ethereum. This is now multi-chain. It is now without having to have any kind of centralized intermediaries. Not that Rainbow Bridge necessarily did, but just highlighting that piece of it as well. So definitely something to be on the lookout for the Omni Bridge. One of the things here too is that it's also people are able to build on top of it. So hence the repo. That's why we have the repo up as well. You can build it into your dApps. We're starting to see that a little bit too here. Now we have some of the different wallets are using this for swapping, things like that. And then obviously if you wanted to build a bot, you need to do some different like arbitrage stuff across multi-chain. You can start to do that with using this kind of bridging, things like that. So that is definitely where to go. And they'll continue to add more chains to it. So just saw one of the questions in the chat, how many chains right now? So for OmniBridge, that's what it supported. Chain signatures supports, it's not necessarily per chain, it's by type of signature. So there's a longer list there, but right now the OmniBridge directly supports that. And again, that repo will be updated regularly from there. So that's OmniBridge. So definitely good to check that out. The next part here from news around uh, near infrastructure, really a lot of different advances that have been happening. We'll start with fast data protocol by the fast near team. This is enabling structured data directly stored on the nearest ledger, and it's going past the traditional contract state storage. So this is different. It's not just putting it back into a contract. It's a bit different setup. Think of it more like IPFS, Arweave, kind of that setup. Again, the idea here is that you can start to save data more efficiently. Again, this team is a really crack team, and so solving things around like lowering cost, speed, and things like that. That's stuff that they're really working on around this. Hot Wallet announced their browser extension, and that came out. And so now it's also just like other wallets, and it has a browser extension as well. So definitely, if you're using Hot Wallet from the Here Wallet team, you can definitely use that now as part of your Web3 extension. The near CLI documentation has been updated. It involves the stuff we talked about before around Python. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can certainly go and see that. Again, all our docs is listed down below, docs.near.org. You can go in and you can see all the different docs that we have and kind of go from there. Some of the things here that, again, I want to just really highlight from an infrastructure standpoint, as you can see, is that there are multiple, both, I will call them like outside party companies like Fastnear, like Hot, that are building and continuing to add to the infrastructure here. And then you also have still some internal in-house stuff like the CLI that is still being built out and working there. So no one area is bearing all the weight for this, so which is really nice. And we're continuing to see upgrades all the way through. If you're looking for more information about this, we highlighted both of these in our newsletter, but you can also reach out to the Fastnear team or the Hot team and see more about that as well. And then again, all our CLI stuff is in our docs. So AI agents has been a huge thing. It continues to be a big topic. There has been, over the past few weeks, there was a hackathon in San Francisco that we were part of, and Soul Build that's coming up here as well. So that, again, that's scheduled for, I think, starting tomorrow, so the 11th. So things like that. So we'll see some different things coming out of there. Then also around agents, BitDay released their no-code AI agent builder. But starting back with the hackathon in San Francisco, really, again, it was nice to see good turnout. Over 100 developers there. Really had some interesting top projects around social media managers, multi-agent systems. There was one even about like locating food resources, things like that. Personal assistants. You were starting to see a nice mix of people. Some of it is repeating other projects that have been out there and trying to iterate on that. And then there are some more novel stuff that's actually coming out as well. So you can see all of that. Again, if you follow us on Twitter near DevHub, you can see all of that as well. We've posted all the winners there. You can see the projects, links to the projects, and that's always on dev posts as well too. The upcoming Build AI Hackathon in Seoul, again, that's focusing on on-chain agents and hopefully to address real-world challenges. So again, things like that. BitDay, they have been constantly iterating and constantly doing different stuff with AI stuff. We've actually had them on this show a handful of times now, especially around, again, like their AI agent builder, some different tooling that they have put together. But they have now just released a no-code agent builder. And that's really neat. So if you ever use like a Squarespace or a Wix, the idea is you can drag and drop and kind of put stuff in. You're not having to code it all out. Really starts to open up the ability to make agents to non-developers, and even for developers who want to prototype things quickly, really opens that up. So again, BitDay has all of that on their website. Here, we can bring them up here too. Let's switch to them. Here you go. So if we go to, think this is the right link for them. Here we go. Build agents. You can't see my screen. Let's add this. Here we go. So you can see if you go to their website, bitday.ai, and then you can go to that. You can kind of play around with that. So definitely worth checking out how that all looks. All right. Continuing on this, the near AI ecosystem has definitely been expanding. And again, this is third-party projects. Yeah, really trying to get some more information out there about what's going on and how they're building around near or with near stuff like that. We're seeing things like Intellex getting some funding, and again, if you didn't see what they were doing, working on like intelligence protocol for blockchains. Again, that fits into a lot of the stuff that's happening here on near. We had a few other different ones. Silverstream AI. Again, they raised some money too, leveraging some of the stuff around near AI. We also had things like Fraction AI and GrowthMate. GrowthMate was actually on here on DevHub Live a few weeks back. So you can go check out that episode and see what they're doing. And we're seeing a lot more of projects that are really leveraging some of the tooling here from the near ecosystem to build out their project as well. So definitely can check that out. There is also a live stream that happens each week in the near AI side of the near ecosystem called, I think it's like, what did you build this week? It's a nice recap of what's kind of being built and what's going on. And that is hosted by the near AI team directly. So I was highly encourage you check that out. We link to that as well in our newsletter. So again, that newsletter is down below. You can check that out. We also, if you are ever curious while we're on this topic, so if you go to dev.near.org, and if I open up the sidebar and I hit news, I can see all previous issues of our newsletter and kind of go back and through that. And I will pull that up as well. So there you can see here. They're all here. I can jump through different ones. So if you missed something, you want to go back, feel free to go back and check that out. We also link to previous shows and episodes and things like that as well. So definitely check that out. All right. Excuse me. Now, we have definitely a few more developer-related updates that I think are really worthwhile talking about. Near blocks, which is again probably the main block explorer that everyone's using. Now I will bring that up here as well. Near blocks. So they now have a way to see the compiled WASM. You can actually download it. Now, why would you need to do this? Well, it's one way to kind of inspect and redeploy existing smart contract code directly. Some more transparency. It is not the full. It's not the full code. It is the compiled WASM, but again, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a nice additional feature. They're continuing to work on transparency on near blocks and offering more tools for developers overall. So I think that is definitely a big plus there. The validator guide has been updated in documentation. Definitely check that out if you're interested in using a validator or setting up your own. It's been really simplified. That entire process as a validator, someone who's running a validator, has gotten a lot more streamlined. The requirements are certainly lower than they have been over the previous years. On top of all of that, Again, it is a little bit more straightforward to do now because they'll not having to need to have a whole snapshot and everything else really saves some time and gives you some more opportunity. But again, just some hardware recommendations and things like that have been updated, so definitely worth checking out as well. And then there is now a near AI docs chatbot. So let me pull that up because that's a cool thing as a developer. Let me go here. Hold on. Here we go. All right, let me show my screen again. Here we go. Here it is, Docs GPT. You can go to this. This is at apps.near.ai, and you can go and you can actually start to use this. And if I go to run, and I can ask it questions. Make it kind of vague. How to create a new wallet. Let's see what it does. Nothing like demoing things live. Things run slow. All right. Oh, while this is loading, you can see you can actually test all the stuff here. Here you go. Look at this. Gives you a nice breakdown. Here's how to do it. The wallet selector config, create account, what that looks like from the command line, where to go for some more information. All that stuff is there. So this is the Docs GPT on Near AI. So again, apps.near AI all the way over here. I definitely can check that out. Yes. So someone in the chat put it. Yes, that is correct. Apps.near.ai. You got it. Oh, sorry, not apps. I'm sorry. It is app, not apps. Typo. My bad. So yeah, I was incorrect in showing. No, no, don't go this one. Don't do that one. Don't do that one. Hold on. I'll put it on the screen here. That was my bad. Should be apps, but it's app. All right, here it is. Hold on. Ooh, that's the wrong. That's the wrong one too. We're disorganized today. It's okay. There it is. App. Just app. Should be apps. I feel like it should be apps because it is more than one app. I guess it's whatever. That's here nor there. But you can check that out and go from there. So there you go. Anyways, so where were we here? So definitely check out the AI Doc spot. And I what's nice here too is, and I'll stay on this. You can check out multiple different agents that are being built. It's a great way to test them out. You can also go in here. Let me go back to the docs one here. So if I go back to the docs, I can actually see the source code as well. And so this is all written in Python. I can see how it's structured, what the prompt is. And so if I want to borrow or recreate some of this stuff, that's all there for me to do as well, which is really nice. All right. Let's move on here. All right. And next segment. Wider adoption in the community. This is something that obviously we definitely want to see. This is really around right now, like wallet, and so by Near as like the token. Uh, it is now Near as the token is in Telegram wallet. So that is a nice addition. So that people can swap for that and have it there as well. More Ethereum wallet integrations are there. So again, Aurora is really driving this. So that team with again better compatibility with MetaMask. We've had a few in Wallet Connect. We've had the team on a few different times here on this show and talking about some different innovations they've been doing. Again, if you've used Intents, Near Intents, like that is built by that team as well. A lot of really great integration stuff here as well. So I think this is something that is worth checking out, especially again if you are a MetaMask user. will simplify a lot of that stuff as well. Ledger Live. So it has been definitely a longer process, but it's now there. Near swaps are within the secure Ledger ecosystem. So if you ever use Ledger Live, that system directly tied to your Ledger, you can now easily swap from there too. That's something that has been kind of back and forth around getting that done in a really secure manner, in a manner that kind of meets both the guidelines of Ledger Live and then the how kind of the near blockchain works as well. So I think that's great. And so if you're a Ledger user, certainly check that out. Let me also bring back here too is I want to highlight if in case you guys have missed any of these. Uh, where are we here? All right. Oh, we want to pause this. So, in our YouTube channel, and I'm gonna pull this up so everyone can see this. Okay. We have all our back episodes here. So this is our YouTube channel at DevHub. Uh, you can go back and you can definitely find and see the previous episodes with the Aurora team, uh, talking about some of the different innovations they've been doing around the wallet, things like that. We can hide clips. If you missed previous episodes of different interviews, also to some of the hackathon updates as well. That's all been here. So it's a nice kind of way to catch up. All our live coding stuff has been there as well. So if you've missed any of this, this is all right there. All right. There have been some notable investments in the community, and these announcements came out last week, I believe. I don't know. Time is weird lately. Well, actually, it's always been weird, I think, the past couple of years here. But notable investments right now: Abound funding, 14 million. Not all from Near, but really the big win here for Near is that as they expand their global payments app for Abound, this is based in India. They're integrating with Near directly for this. Part of that $14 million does come from a strategic investment from, I believe, the Near Foundation directly. So again, that's a ton of users already built in. It's a product that is active already. So it's not something that needs to be built. Now they're integrating directly with the payment rails and things like that that Near is able to provide. We also had some infrastructure committee announcements that are related to, and I guess winners isn't the greatest word, but we'll call them winners because they were selected. Everybody's a winner. So wallet selector is the first big thing here, and this kind of ties in also to what I guess with like authorization mechanisms as well. And what we're seeing here is some improvements that are being done by multiple teams. And so we'll still have the wallet connector that is there today that will continue to be improved. We'll also have some new versions as well that are addressing some different types of usage for the wallet connector. These are things that are much needed in the ecosystem. Certainly excited to see what these teams build, but Lucid, Hot Wallet, and Pearson Labs have all received grants and funding to do this work. And so we'll see some updates and changes really soon. And that leads me to kind of a quick preview that version 9 of the wallet connector is coming very, very soon. Wallet selector, not wallet connector. Wallet selector is coming very soon. It is in beta. It is in its third iteration of beta right now. You can go see it on our GitHub profile, but from there, we hope to see that in production very, very soon. So that'll be another major update for the wallet selector there. So really excited about that. Now, I do want to spend a little bit of time here with some of the things that came up that was in the news, and we highlighted this in one of our newsletters. And quick key recovery. And so let me pull up this little story. Where are we here? Hold on. think it was. And where was it? Just had it. I just had it. What episode? It shows the 56. Here we go. Okay. Let's show this up. Let's show this. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So we highlighted in this issue, if you haven't seen 56, just came out this week. So much information. This was, again, really packed with a lot of information. Again, OmniBridge, stuff we just talked about, the hackathon, all those things. All that stuff we just already talked about. That's all in here. Uh, Again, town hall recap is there as well. I didn't really bring that up. Things like that. Some stuff that happened, on Twitter. We're always trying to highlight some things that are happening. Here is those "What did you ship this week" episode. So if you missed that for the Near AI, it's all again in our newsletter, and you can get to our newsletter again through dev.near.org. But I wanted to highlight this little story here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in. Here we go. All right. So, we had a nice story, a little dev moment here of the week. So, a contributor accidentally leaked a private key in a pull request to wallet landing near repo. Now, thankfully, to the near flexible account model, all that had to happen was a rotation of the keys, and the same account was intact. What was nice is here there was no need to redeploy anything. There was no state that was lost. It was a quick key swap, and everything continued smoothly. Couple great lessons for developers out of this. One, double check that you're not leaking anything private when you put stuff onto GitHub, because it is going to be there and people are going to find it immediately. So that is always a risk. You can rotate keys in any situation. So it's not just in developer. For some reason, you think your account's been compromised, whatever else. Again, on Near, you rotate those keys. You can keep using the same account. I don't have to trash the account. I don't have to move all my funds. I can simply just rotate the keys, things like that. And it's a really strong reminder of like what's possible there. Let's go back here. Look, as we kind of wrap up a lot of the different news here, and there is a lot going on. There's a lot of different information here. There's a few trends that I'm seeing that I think are worthwhile to talk about here. One is that there is continued to be investment into things getting built that are supporting developers. That is both through the infrastructure committee, who's doing that, as well as we're seeing outside investment in projects there. So there is opportunity if you are building something that fits in that. There's also opportunity for those consumer products that are able to reach a large audience. I would absolutely, and this is not just a near thing. This is a larger blockchain Web3 type of thing of, look, if you are building a consumer-based product, there is opportunity for you, and there is still a lot of room for that. So despite a lot of market tension and a lot of apprehension, it is still a good time to continue to build. It is still a good opportunity to focus on what you're trying to build from a product standpoint. There are opportunities for funding, if needed. There are absolutely still people who are investing. There is a lot of great things that are able to happen if you're willing to build that. I would definitely say that the difference between, I guess, a bull market and then whatever you want to call this market, I don't even know at this point, is in a bull market, that lower tier stuff still has a chance to make money and maybe get funding or whatever else. That lower tier stuff does get kind of cut out in times of apprehension or, again, down markets. So it does put a little pressure on you as a builder to, and it's good pressure, I think, to build a product that is much more focused. I'm not going to say better because better is too subjective. More focused. Make sure that you are like you're meeting an audience, you have room to grow, things like that. So all those different things there, again, I think are nice opportunities. So let me see here. Let's take some questions as they come in too, and I'll get back to this. This is a good question. Any interest in funding MCP servers having near any change in the near future? I mean, I'm not doling out money, but I think there is absolutely people who are interested in this type. I mean, this is the type of infrastructure I think that is, you know, interesting and worthwhile to ecosystems where, again, that there are opportunities to have diversified infrastructure, and whether that's coming through multiple providers or providers working together, things like that. So, absolutely, I think these are things that are really that are certainly on the table for investors to look at, and ecosystems to look at. I like these ideas, but also here too. One of the things I also want to highlight here as a trend is that you can really see overall, and I'll go back through my notes here, but like the AI agent piece is an interesting one. And right now, there's still a lot of hackathons around AI agents, which is great. There's still, a lot of opportunity to like get out there and try something novel. It does feel a little bit like the agent market is kind of slowing down because there was a lot of like repeated stuff, right? Like 8 trillion Twitter agents, right? Like, and we don't need any more Twitter agents. We have our fill. But if you have something that you can take that Twitter agent, and now expand upon it, like there's opportunity there. These hackathons that are going on are great opportunities to try that stuff. There are more and more projects looking to have developers come and be novel in their approach. And that really, again, is the key part here. Uh, if you are simply just trying to recreate something that maybe already exists or exists in a slightly different form, you're doing yourself a disservice in the sense of like, this is the opportunity where you can really try to expand and try to do something new. So I would certainly check out that. The AI agent market really is going to just continue to grow. And I think when you look at like Bitday's no code agent that I brought up earlier, I mean, that's a great example of like when you have more people who have access to building these tools, the ability to be creative really goes through the roof because now you're not bound by your technical skill set. So it's something to really be aware of. And even if you are a developer and you are technical, uh, to eliminate some of that time that goes into maybe the actual coding part, even with AI, like it's still like, again, anyone who's using AI every day to code and develop, like, like it is, yes, it is much faster. Like it is, I don't even know how much fast, probably 10 to 20 or more times faster than you would be, but it's not no time. It still is time and effort. So when you're starting to prototype and things like that, um, how you use your time and where you put it, it definitely makes a difference. So definitely be aware of that. Look, in a time of uncertainty with the financial markets, the adage of you build in the bear, I don't know, you build in chaos or whatever this is. I mean, again, I don't even know what to call this market right now. Don't focus on that. Now's an opportunity with the technology sector, with AI, with some of the different things that are happening, with the regulations, especially that are changing in the United States around crypto, which then sometimes drive other places. I think it's a really interesting opportunity to start looking at, what can you build? What is that wild idea? Can I try something new and really push the limits. Hey, I had this wild idea before. Can I just put it out there? Go from there and see what starts to happen. And that's the biggest thing. And that's what we're going to hopefully see more in the news coming up. As I'm looking through some of the stories that I know that we're going to have in our newsletter for next week. Uh, and again, here's a little like sneak peek. I mean, but just some of the stuff here, it's really more great infrastructure that is still being built, still being put together. I mean, just just when you thought we had enough infrastructure, there's definitely more. There's definitely more things that are coming out. The Near protocol announcing upgrades. Bowen the other day, talking about, hey, the protocol is even faster now. I mean, so we're not at the end by any means. We are probably, it's fair to say, like past the initial beginning stage, and we're now at this other stage of like continued innovation, hopefully. And now we need people to actually build and try different things. So as a developer, it's a great opportunity to go back and do that. Uh, Coming up, definitely want to be on the lookout for different projects that you'd like to see on here. Certainly reach out if you have a project you'd like to recommend. Uh, Definitely want to highlight some people who are also building in AI. There is a lot of great content on AI on the Near Protocol's actual YouTube. So not the DevHub one, but the actual Near Protocol one. They have all the office hours and things like that. Uh, some of them are very technical, so it might be a little bit, uh, might take a little time to catch up to speed of like what's being discussed. But if you're interested in this stuff, if you want to learn, if you want to hear what the general conversation is right now in a lot of these different ecosystems, especially around AI, definitely check out these type of videos, things like that. But overall, look, I think there's a lot of reason to feel pretty good about what's happening still in the near ecosystem. Still a lot of great opportunities here at DevHub. We are continually to add more and more to our documentation, to our tooling, everything else. We're here to support you as a developer. So definitely check out any Telegram links below. Check out the docs. We are certainly here to support. Every week we're here Thursday with DevHub Live with different content and information. You can always always shoot questions here. And then also, be on the lookout for kind of other updated stuff. We've been doing different events for our hackathons and things like that, and having different guests and different builders on to talk about like what they're building and how to support that and all the other stuff. So tons of content always still available around that if you're interested in learning. Overall, uh, you know, I hope right now, if you're watching this either live or recorded, really the message I want to again I want to get across is things market wise may feel tumultuous, they may feel chaotic. But if you are focused on building a product, you're focused on working on some infrastructure, if you see a path forward of like, hey, this is where I want to go as a, you know, whatever kind of business product, consumer product, you can still do that. That is not dependent on any market. It is simply dependent on the product that you build. So there are still people going, lots of great news. Our newsletter is filled up still every week. It's not like things are just not happening. So definitely feel confident around that. With that said, this has been another DevHub Live episode talking about the news. We'll have definitely more guests coming on here as well. We'll have more topics around building and stuff like that. We're really trying to focus in 2025 on shipping more product. We definitely want that. We have some cool stuff coming out of the Near Dev and DevHub team that we'll highlight here as well over the next couple months. So a lot of good stuff still happening. A lot of good stuff to follow along for. Make sure you're subscribed to our newsletter. Make sure you're following us on our different socials. Make sure you come in and check in on our Telegram groups for dev support, because that's a great place if you are building anything, need a little bit of help. Someone's there, not just our team, but also the community as well. But till next week, until We will be back next Thursday, same time, with another episode of DevHub Live. I'm your host, Joe. Hopefully, everyone got some great news out of this. And until then, keep building. Bye for now.